Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.
You know, there as we end the week mired entirely avoidable COVID mess, yet again we are seeing the architecture of the government and the way they operate. Having on Wednesday promised that the testing debacle we saw in Northland wouldn't happen again because they learned from their mistakes, we end up yesterday with Phil Goff, the Mayor of Auckland, asking what the hell's going on when a testing site isn't open, the nurses haven't turned up and the queues are long. At the start of the week, we saw the usual scramble involving not a lot of actual fact and an awful lot of spin. The air conditioning was this particular cock-up scapegoat. Like Americold, where they blame the meat, not the border, they fly a kite under the auspices of leaving no stone unturned. Then, having flown the kite the next day, they say it's unlikely. And as long as people keep asking, they keep saying it's increasingly unlikely. Until people stop asking, then they breathe a sigh of relief. They look at CCTV footage, and they do that forever until you forget to ask what it found, which is inevitably nothing. The Northland woman, remember? Here at the start of the week, they were scouring footage. They told you what they found? Of course they haven't. And while the queues grow, the anxiety grows as well, yet again. The questions get asked as to why the government keep ignoring the experts on MIQ. Stay in rooms, ISO before getting on a plane, ISO after MIQ, no mixing day 4 with day 1 with day 12, no flights from Britain or the States. And in response, they stall, they obfuscate, they slip, they slide. And then after the first case and then the next two, by the end of the week, guess who turns up? Our absent Prime Minister, who yet again has hung poor old Chippy out to dry. At which point, she ponders out loud whether or not we shouldn't be tightening things up a bit. Surely by now, a year into this COVID mess, even the most ardent Labour Party apologists must be starting to wonder if this lot is actually up to anything at all. By the way, read the Simpson-Roach report into the Health Ministry. They slipped under the radar before Christmas so you wouldn't notice. There are good clues in there as to why you have a fatal combination of a useless ministry and a lazy government, and why. Shutting the border of a tiny island nation with a multi-thousand-mile moat was really the only reason we've come out of this okay. If it had been any more complex than being at the bottom of the world, we'd be stuffed by now. The upside is the government's weak point is pressure. They buckle to pressure. Their view on Monday is not their view on Friday, essentially because they make it up as they go along. Well, if this is it for them for 2021, God help us when we finally get the vaccine rollout.
The Mike Hosking Breakfast, 6 to 9 weekdays on Newstalk ZB.